Hello, dear students. Good afternoon. Welcome back to the next part of data file handling. So, the next part is input and output operations on text files. So, as I told, there are two types of files. One is called text file, another is called binary file. So, in order to perform input and output operation on various files, we are studying here. This part includes input and output operations on text files. So usually uh, input and output operation on text files are carried out by means of three functions called get, put, and getLine. Get, put, and getLine. So get function. Let us start with the get function. Get function is a member function of ifstream class and which is used to read the one character at a time from the associated file. Associated file in this is the file which is open for reading purpose. So here the syntax of a get function is char ch. Ch is a single character variable and ifstream object name dot get and char ch means get function will accept one character at a time from the associated file whose object is followed by that get function through the dot operator. So example is ifstream fin input dot dat. Input dat file is a file which is open for reading purpose because we are using a fin object and ifstream class. So ifstream means input purpose. So when you input the data in an input.dat file, so in order to read that data from the file, you make use of a get function. So fin.get ch is a single character variable which accept one character at a time from the file and retain it in a variable called ch. Similarly, in order to write a single character at a time on a file, we make use of a put function. So the put function is a member function of ifstream class because its task is to write. Put function will write one character at a time to the specified or associated file. So that's why put is a output function which is available on ifstream.h header file, ifstream class, and this function is used to put single character or write single character at a time to the associated file. So first we have to create the character variable, then we have to open a file for particular purpose. Then you can write one character at a time in a specific file. So example char ch is a single character variable which is nothing but output character variable. OFStream is a class, fout is a object of a OFStream class, and output.dat is a file name in which you want to write one character at a time through a put function. So fout.put is a this one function which writes one character at a time to the output file. So here the syntax of a put function is like a get function, char ch ofstream object name dot put ch. So put is a member function of ofstream. By using this function you can write one character at a time to the specified file. Similarly, getLine function is a function which is used to read entire line of a text, one line of a text at a time, and usually while storing information in a text file, each text line is terminated with a EOL character, and as you know, each string is terminated with a null character. So get function allows the user to read an entire line of a text until that null character is reached. So the syntax of a get function is first we have to declare the character variable by using a character array char string size. Char is a data type, string is a variable name, and size is number of characters present in the respective string. So this function belongs to ifstream. That's why you have to create a ifstream object. Through ifstream object, getLine function can be accessed by passing two arguments. One is a string name of a variable and next one is a size. Example char text 100. So this declaration tells to the compiler that the user want to enter 100 characters in a variable called text, which is of string type. Among those 100 characters, one character will be reserved for null. Next one, ifstream fin. Fin is a input object and getLine function is used to read one line of a text at a time, which containing a maximum of 99 characters. I hope this is clear. Next one is input and output operation on binary files. So generally we have two types of files. One is text file, another is binary file. So binary file is nothing but a file which retain the information in its original format, that is in the form of zeros and ones within a computer's memory. So usually binary files are utilized in order to process the records. So records in the sense whatever information is represented in the form of a table. The table containing various fields or various members. Like for example, suppose if you want to create a structure of a student to process the record of a student, including name, age, or name, roll number, and fees. So as I told this one in first year, so actually one piece of information for one student, that is student name, student register number, and student fees detail. So this is called one record. In order to process such records in a C++, we make use of a binary file concept or binary files. So binary files allow the user to insert the information in the form of records. In order to process the records, we make use of a binary files. So usually binary files can be used to perform two operations, either a read operation or write operation. So binary operations on a file, read and write operations, can be carried out by using a two member functions, that is called write and read. The name itself is suggestive. Write member function is used to write the binary data into output file or into the file which is open for writing purpose, and read function is used to read the contents, binary contents from the file which is open for reading purpose. So the write function details are like that. The write function is used to write object contents. Object contents means like a structure, you can create a class containing containing a name of a class, then data members and member functions, including which allows the user to read the data and display the data. Suppose if you want to read the contents of a record from the file, or if you retain the records in a file, in order to those records we can make use of a read function, and in order to write the records in output file we can make use of a write function. So first we will study about write function, then we'll go for a read function. So the write function is used to write object contents or records, which is nothing but a sequence of bytes or sequence of bytes of a file. A record may be an array, a structure, or a class. It belongs to OF stream. It belongs to OF stream. That means a write function belongs to OF stream class. So its syntax is OF stream object, then OF stream object dot write char star and object comma size of a variable. So example, IF stream f in write, sorry, OF stream f out write character star and variable comma size of variable. So in this syntax, f out is a output or file output object which is used to write a record in a specified file where f out is pointing. Then char star and variable is a type of a pointer to the character, and it represents the address of a memory location where the object like an entire array structure or class is placed, or information about a record is placed. Then size of is a keyword, and variable is nothing but object. Size of keyword is used to determine how much amount of memory space is required by the object for its storage. So size of variable part will calculate the total number of bytes required for writing data in a file where object pointer is pointing. So example that part I will cover in the theory classes later on. Programming example I will give by that time, you can understand this concept. Okay, just you have to remember the syntax, and you have to remember what is the purpose of a write function. Next comes to the next part, that is read function. So read function is used to read object or record contents from the input file. So record may be array, it may be a structure or a class. And this function belongs to ifstream class. Its syntax is ifstream. By mistake it is written as ifstream, make it as ifstream object. ifstream object dot read. Again the syntax is same, and there is char star and object comma size of a variable. Size of a variable. Now, as usual, character star and variable is a type of a pointer to character, and it represents a address of a memory block where the record contents are placed. Next one is the size of variable will calculate the total number of a memory space that is occupied by the record for its storage within a specified file. So the syntax is also clear. Next example I will give in the class. Next one is detecting end of file. Usually during reading and writing operation, particularly during reading operation, we have to read the contents of a file from first character till the last character of a file is reached, or till the end of file, that is EOL character is detected. So usually all the files are terminated by EOL characters. So during reading operation or during writing operation, we have to go through the contents of a file until EOL character is reached. Once that character is reached by the compiler during reading or writing operation, then certain translation will takes place. So usually detecting end of file is done by using a special member function called EOF function. So EOF function returns a true value if end of file is encountered while reading. Otherwise, it returns a false value indicating that end of file is yet not reached. Its syntax is, there are two syntaxes here. One is called if fin.eof statements. Another one is called while not fin.eof. So EOF followed by input object is used in order to test whether the end of file occur or not. In the first example, that is in if fin.eof statements. So this statement, this syntax, this example execute the set of statements specified between a pair of parentheses until or when once the end of file is reached. So here in the second example, while not f in EOF statements means it executes the set of statements specified between a pair of parentheses as long as the end of file is reached. So here there is a difference. In the first example, once the end of file is reached, it will start executing the statements. In the second example, the statements are executed till the end of file is reached. I hope this concept is clear. Certain basic operations we can perform over the files. So basic operations on binary files are searching, appending data, inserting data in the stored file, deleting data from the file, modifying data. So searching is nothing but process of searching suitable information in the file. Appending means during editing your program, or say for example, if a part of program is entered in one time, later on if you want to start editing same program, the same file, you can open the file. From the end of file you can continue the editing of a next part of a program. So this is called appending data, means adding new data in an existing file from the end of a previous end of a file. So next one, it is possible to insert a data in a stored file. Then it is possible to delete the data from the file, or even modify the data which is already available in a file. So these are the basic operations that you can perform on a files. So the next part is a stream file pointers. So in C++, input and output streams are associated with file pointer. Input and output statement streams. So actually meaning of a word stream is flow of a data either from input file to either from input devices or input file to the program, or from the program to this one memory or output devices. So in order to carry out the movement of data from input file from the program to input from the input file to the program, or from the program to output file, we make use of or it will make use of pointers. So they are known as a string pointers. There are two string pointers available in C++. Those are known as a get pointer and put pointer. So these two pointers are useful for these two pointers, get pointer and put pointers, are useful for traversing the open file while reading or writing data. So traversing is nothing but getting, either getting data from the file or writing data into the file is called traversing. So usually traversing is a meaning, traversing means accessing each character at least one, either during reading operation or during writing operation. So actually there are three modes in which you can open the file. Three modes. Generally there are three modes in which you can open the file. One, to read a one, we can open the file only in read mode, so that if you want to read some contents from the file, you can open the file in read mode, or you can open the file in write mode. Write mode means if you want to write some information in a file, then you can open the file in write mode. Similarly, you can open a file in append mode. Append mode means suppose today I have entered a part of a program and tomorrow I want to continue the editing program in the same file. Then next on every next day you can open the existing file from the end of a previous day's this one point. You can start editing new data from the next position onwards. So this is called appending a file. So generally you can open the file in three modes. One is read only mode, then next write only mode, and append mode. So read only mode allows the user to read only the data, existing data in a file. Write only mode allows the user to open a file with a suitable name for writing purpose, then start writing data from the first character position. Similarly, append mode allows the user to add new data from the point where the previously the data was, from the position from where the previous data was entered. So let us study what is get pointer, what is put pointer, and what is the use of it. So get pointer, when file is open in read only mode, the get pointer, when file, suppose if you open a file in read only mode, so during read mode what happened, the contents of a file is to be start reading by the program from the first character till the last character of that file is reached. So each time it will move the get pointer to the next position. So initially what happened, when get pointer detect that the user, when compiler detect that the user has opened the file for reading purpose, automatically it will take the get pointer and places the get pointer at the first character position, so that the first character of that file content will be read by the program. So after reading one character, the pointer moves to next character till the last character of that file is reached. So in order to carry out a reading operation from the file character by character, we can make use of a get pointer. So actually get pointer belongs to ifstream class and get pointer. So if you want to place a get pointer, we have to open the file for, we have to open the file either for reading purpose or for writing purpose. If the file is open for reading purpose, then get pointer gets activated. In the example here I given you, we have to open the file for reading purpose. Say ifstream fin.open sample.dat ios in. Sample.dat is the name of a file. ios.in indicates that user want to open a file for input purpose or for reading purpose. When compiler detects this statement, automatically it will place the get pointer at the first character position from where the get pointer starts reading the contents of a particular file character by character. Similarly, a put pointer, when file is open with a write only mode, so put pointer gets activated when the file is open in write only mode. So write only mode is indicated by using a this one file flag mode ios.out. So the put pointer automatically set when file is open for writing purpose. The put pointer automatically is set to the first character position where the programmer or the user, the programmer, can start writing data or placing first character of that file, or it will start storing first character of a file from the first character position. So the this one, the put pointer will go on putting a respective character in a respective location until the last character to be required to be written by the programmer is entered. So the syntax of put pointer, in order to activate put pointer, we have to open the file in output mode or in a writing mode. Then in order to open a file in a writing mode, we can make use of a effort object. So we have to create the effort object. Through effort object, we can open the file called output.dat for writing purpose by specifying write mode, that is iOS out. So the put pointer will place the cursor when compiler detect that the user has opened a file for writing purpose. Automatically it will place the cursor, the put pointer at the first memory location of the file from where the user can start writing first character of the respective file. So next part, when file is open in append mode, what happens? Say for example, you have edited previously 5 characters, that is hello, in a one file. So next time if you want to start next character in the same file from the last character position of the previously stored data, then you can open the first of all you have to open the file in a append mode. Then once you open the file in append mode, when compiler detect that the file user has created a file or the user want to open a file in append mode, so the user can specify append mode in a this one file syntax like fout dot open output dot dat comma iOS app. So iOS app indicate that the user want to open a file for append purpose. And compiler detect this statement, it will open a output.dat file for append purpose and it will place the cursor at the position from where the last character, after the position from where the last character of that file output.dat file was written. I hope this concept is also clear. So the file pointer that points to the reading by writing location. So usually the file pointer will be managed by means of 4 built-in functions. Those built-in functions are known as seekg, seekp, tellg, tellp. Seekg, seekp, tellg, tellp. Seek means finding. G means get. So seekg function is used to find the position of a get pointer during reading operation, and seekp function is used to find the position of a put pointer during writing data into the file. Next one, tellg. G means get pointer. Tell means telling. So tellg function tell us the position of a get pointer, whereas tellp function tell us the position of a file pointer when a file is opened for writing purpose, and tellg will tell the position of a get pointer when file is open for reading purpose. So let us start studying about seekg and seekp function. So seekg function is a function which moves the get pointer to the beginning of the file. So this function will take two prototypes. One is seekg long, another is seekg offset comma seek directory position. So seekg long. Long is nothing but a long integer value which indicates the position of a get pointer where the get pointer is placed during reading operation, or in order to indicate the position of a get pointer during reading contents of a file, we can make use of a seekg function. So again the same function when used with the two parameters, one is called offset, another is called seek directory. So offset, here the offset indicates the number of bytes the get pointer is to be moved from seek directory position. Means you can move the get pointer during reading operation randomly to a particular location. So seek offset indicates the location where the user wants to place the cursor during reading operation from the seek directory position. So usually seek directory position is a constant, is a character constant which is given in the table below. So actually that constant is constant and meaning is given here. So the constant is iOS begin, iOS cursor and iOS end. iOS begin indicates that offset is specified from the beginning of a file. And then iOS CUR, that is CUR stands for cursor, indicates that offset is specified from the current cursor position of the get pointer. Then iOS end indicates offset specified from the end of a file. So here examples are given. If actually you can make use of a seekg function with a input stream object. So fin is an input stream object. During reading operation, you can make use of a seekg function in order to find the position of a or seek the position of a get pointer. So fin dot seek 0 comma ios begin, fin dot seek 10 comma ios cursor, fin dot seek minus 10 comma ios end. That means if you want to identify the get pointer position from the beginning of a file, so usually 0 indicates that you want to read contents of a file from beginning of the file, or during reading operation you can place the get pointer at 0th position, that is at the beginning position. Next one, the second statement moves the second statement moves the get pointer to the 10th character position to the 10th character position to the 10th character position from in a forward direction from the current cursor position. So fin dot seek 10 comma ios cursor means if the cursor is initially placed at 0th location, and if you execute this statement fin seek g 10 comma ios cursor current, means it will take the control from 0th character to 10th character in forward direction. Similarly, the last statement f in seek g minus 10 ios end means from the end of file it will take the cursor and place the cursor at a position of, that is a 10th character in reverse direction from the end of file, and from the last position to the 10th character position in a reverse direction. So the first second one, yeah, iOS fin seek g 10 comma iOS cursor means from the from the current cursor position it will move the get pointer at 10th position. So initially when the this one get pointer position is at 0, when you execute the next statement, second statement, it will take the control from 0th to 10th byte or 10th character position. I hope this concept is clear. The same is used with the seek p position. So seek p means put pointer. So usually this function is used to move the put pointer to the absolute position from beginning of the file. So during writing operation you can make use of a put pointer. In order to move the put pointer during writing operation you can make use of a seek p function. So it's like seek g, it has also two prototypes. One is the seek p long, another is called seek p offset and seek directory. Whatever constants are there for seek directory, the same constants are utilized by the seek p function, that is beginning, cursor and end. So f.seek p example, in an example, f.seek p 0 comma ios begin means it will place the cursor at a 0th location, or it indicates the beginning of the cursor position where the first character of the file which is open for writing purpose is written or placed. Like in the second example, f out dot seek p 10 comma ios cursor means it will place the cursor from the current cursor position, or 10 from the it will place the cursor from the first character position to the 10th character position. That means this function moves the put pointer to the 10th character position from the current cursor position. Likewise, the third statement that is in forward, previous one is in forward direction. Next one, f out dot seek p minus 10 comma ios end means it will move the this one put pointer during writing operation from the last character position to minus 10th character position of the file. So the next function is tell g. Tell g function will tell the position of a get pointer during reading operation. So its syntax is var if object dot tell g. If object is nothing but if stream object, and tell g will tell the position of a get pointer where the cursor is where the get pointer is currently placed. So here we will take a integer value indicating the position of a get pointer, where the get pointer exactly placed in the file during reading operation. Similarly, in order to recognize the position of a put pointer during writing operation, we can make use of a tellp function. So tellp function will tell us the position of a put pointer where the put pointer is currently placed during writing operation. Its syntax is int var ofstream object. So var equal to ofstream object dot tellg indicate that var is a value indicating integer value indicating that where the put pointer is placed. So here the mistake is there. Here you have to make it as a, instead of tellg you have to make it as a tellp. I hope this concept is clear. The last part is a difference between text file and binary file. So actually text file contains text characters, binary file contains a information in a bit form, that is in binary values, that is zeros and ones. So first point regarding text file, in a text file stores the information in ASCII character. ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. I give you a list of ASCII codes followed by their decimal value. So during storing a text information, whatever characters are stored, its a respective ASCII character will be accepted internally by the compiler, and that respective character ASCII value will be stored in a respective location. So in a text file, generally the information is stored in ASCII format, whereas in binary file, the information is stored in binary format, that is in the form of zeros and ones. In a text file, each line of data ends with a new line character. In a text file, each line of data ends with a new line character, whereas in a binary file, there is no special character for indicating the end of a line. So the text files are processed sequentially, means all the text files, all the text characters placed in a text file are accepted one by one. Whereas in case of a binary file, the file can be processed randomly. Without randomly, you can select any character and you can process that character for particular purpose. So this is the end of a data file handling chapter. I hope some of the concept is clear. So if any concept is missing, if you didn't got any concept, or if you want me to clarify the any concept, you can contact me. You can contact me through my telephone my mobile number, or even when college starts, by that time also, if you want, I can give you the re-explanation of the same thing. I hope the concept is clear for next part of a data file handling. Thank you.